downloading the softwares. So try to download the softwares. Okay, Anaconda, and then in that you need to install Spider. Okay, so this is your Spider framework. Okay, so you all know the basics like file, how to use the use of file menus and all. Next, edit menu. In the edit menu, we have the other extra features are commenting, adding block comment or multi-line comment, and removing the block line comment. If you want to use, the Python's basics, like you need to have a indentation for the functions and all. So at that time, you can use the concept of this tab function. And if you want to convert the data to uppercase, you can use toggle uppercase. If you want to convert the upper caps letter to small letter, you have to go for toggle lowercase by selecting the data. Okay, so these are the two basic menu functions. You source search function no need to use. Next, before we start with source, hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm audible, right? Someone
Yes, sir. You are audible.
okay. Now, so this is the first basic file. This is your I'm not going to teach you about the basics of Python. Directly, we are jumping into the files concept. Okay. So I'm reading the particular file from the particular path. If I'm using the local path, at that time you need to use double backslash as the system path file. If I use single line, at that time what happens, you can see here. See, there was no output. Okay. It's giving the last earlier output. So right click, you will be having the options like clear console, clear line, block line, all, or you can remove all the variables from the console screen, or else you can have here, you can see in the right here, you can stop the current execution and you can remove all the variables. And the last option is the settings option where you can restart the kernel. Okay. So what I will do now is you already saved this file and the extension .py. So now I will be executing the run file. You can see here the both single direction and as well as double slash will read the files. So this is a just simple example of how to read the data files. Suppose here we are having how many data? Only the first file. Why means you can see here in the student data set, I have taken only the in the printing the data, I've taken just the head. The head function only gives the data from the first 5 rows. Okay. Suppose if I want to have the lower bottom, what I should do now? What is the changes that I should do in this file? I went to get the last 5 rows of the data from this file.
Dot bottom.
No. Next. This is a simple basic thing. No. What is
Bottom.
the thing you'll be using it for animals, like head, and then for animals, what you will call tail, right? Okay, at that time, instead of head,
Tail.
I need to call the function. These are inbuilt functions. Okay. If I click on tail, save and run. See, I'm getting the output as the data from 50-second column, sorry, 50-second row. But in my data set, I am not having any 52-second data row. The data set is only from the first 10. Okay, then when there is no data, you'll be getting the output as NaN, not a number. Got it? Any doubt in this basic things? Hello? Okay, suppose if I want to
Yes,
read
sir. No,
only
sir.
the first 10 uh, rows, instead of using without head and tail function, how you are going to read? Can I use that? So for that function, we are having data.head of, this is a function, right? Inside this function, you can give the number of rows whichever you want. So if I give 10, what happens?
10.
Let us clear the screen, console screen. Okay. So when I run this, you can see here.
First
I'm-
name.
So the function what I have taken is head function. Inside the head function, I have given the values that is I need to print the data of the first 10 rows. So it starts from 0 to 9. So I will get for the I'm having the data from only 9 data. The 10th data set is a empty one. So it's giving NAL. Got it? Okay. Next. Suppose if I want to read only the name, first name of the as my output, first name as the column, I want to read only this first name. What changes I should do? Sarika? Bhavani? Hello guys, anyone can answer this question. I want to read only the particular column from the data set. What changes I should do in this file? Where?
So we can add column name
In the print statement, just
in the print
tell me
statement.
what I should do. Print of first name.
The
Okay,
first name.
first underscore name. Will I get the output? Then?
Only the first name unit, sir.
Okay, let us check what are the things you have learned. See, you are not. It's saying it's the name is not defined.
So particular column number should be selected.
Okay, how you are going to read that? Indexing. You cannot use index because index will be the value of the rows here, left hand side. I want to read the data in the column side. Okay, if I say data dot first name, will I get? See, whenever I read the data from the first name also, I'm getting all the data here. It displays all the data now. Here. When I run this file, I have taken the data as the storage one variable. I'm using the method function dot of first name. You can see here I'm not only getting index file and the name of the first name of the here. Got it? This is one method of, okay. Suppose if I want to read the data from the column end itself, what I should do? Like in this function, in the read CSV file from the particular path, instead of printing like this, I can use the directly as, see here in the CSV file, there is other option. Okay. Comma. See here, use columns, COLS. Okay. This is the inbuilt function. Then space, double quote, in the single quote, I'll be writing first underscore name. Okay. And I'll be reading just the first 5 data, or I no need to give the value of this. Like I'll be giving only 4. First 4 rows I need to get the as my output screen, and using only the with the column name first name. Okay. So when I run this, see here, I got the output like this, first 4 row of the data with the column name first name. Got it? If you have any doubts, you can ask me right now. This is the basic things which we need to know for the execution of reading the data and printing the data from the files. If you have any doubts in this, you can ask me now. Suppose if I want to read the generation column, what I should do? I should take this name. Okay. So these are some of the operations that you will be performing in Python. Okay. And now I would like to suppose this is the data that we are reading from the local system, right? Suppose if I want to read the data from the Google Drive directly, or from the particular path. What changes I should do? And one more thing, like let me make some mistake over here. See, I have removed this comma operator from the read CSV file. Okay, let me clear the console. Now, when I execute this, I'm getting an error. Okay, when you get an error, you want to debug the error, right? So at that time, you can go for source menu. In the source menu, you'll be having run static code analysis. Okay, click on that. When you click on that, in the right hand side, you'll be having a separate data. Okay, static code analysis. When you click on output screen, it shows what invalid syntax in the second line with a comma operator. Okay, from this you can understand that I have missed a comma operator in the particular line and in a particular column. Okay. So what I should do, I should add comma, then space. Okay. This is the data reading from the local system. Now, if I want to read the data from the particular drive or particular path, at that time, you need to use the concept of URLs. Okay, see here, this is the second file. I'm copying the direct data from the GitHub content here. I'm reading the data from the CSV files with the countries with the regional code. Okay. So just read the content, call the variable as URL. Then I'm taking the data as DF. I'm reading the data read CSV function as an inbuilt file of URL data with a particular column name as use columns of name. Suppose if you want to see the data of this content, you can see over here. Go to the Chrome. So this is your data set. Okay. This is your CSV file, which is separated by comma operator. Okay. Now what I would like to see, I would like to get only the data of the particular, I have taken tail function. So I'll be getting the last values. So let me execute this. See here. I have executed the file with the data Wallis and Futuna, Western Sahara, Yemen, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, which we can see over here. See, these are the last row of the data in the drive, but I'm reading only the first column, that is the name column of the data here. Okay. This is how you need to use the concept of both local directory and through the internet or from the drive if you want to read the data. So this is the condition: variable name method function dot read underscore CSV bracket, from where you are getting the data, that is I have stored the data as URL variable, URL comma, I'm reading particular column. Okay. If you want to have the other column, use comma, then second, use single quote to read the column names. Okay. So this is about the second basic. So first, reading the data from local directory, and the second one is reading the data from the drive content or any other GitHub files. Okay. Next, suppose if you want, I want you to create a particular file with your own content. Okay. So this is the, so you can see here, so what is the error in this file? Is there any error? File comma delimiter. So I need to use comma. Okay. See here what happens. I'm reading the importing the CSV. Then with the command open, I'm creating a new file called file.csv. with the option W, write mode as file with the content as csv.writer method. So what this happens, I'm writing reading the data in the file that has printed as the method write to a particular file called file.csv, and I'm writing the data as SN, movie, protagonist, Lord of the Rings, and the Frodo Baggins, Harry Potter, and all. Okay, so you can see here. So I'm not getting the output in the console screen. Why? Because the data will be stored as a file.csv in the particular path. So you can see here, this is the file run file, and this is your W directory. That is means working directory. So I will be going to ML lab there. What was the file name? File.csv. When I open this, you can see here, all the data are combined into a single column. Okay, see here number 1, 2, SN, movie, protagonist, file name, movie name, cast of the file or the movie. Okay, I don't want to get this data as a combined one. So what changes I should do in this file? You can zoom the screen in your file. So I'm executing s5.py function file. So what change? I need to get my data SN12 as a separate column, movie, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter as the second column, protagonist, and the cast of the film who are present. That should be in separate column. What changes I should do? Ruchita?
Yes, sir.
What changes I should do? In this file, what changes I should do? I want to get the index, like 0th index in particular first column. Okay, next array of 1 should be in second column, array of 2 in third column. What modification I should do in this file? See guys, you need to know basics of Python and all, okay? Don't say that you have the pandemic time, you have not, what the problem you should have faced was, you should have the exam, theory exam. At least you should have learned that.
So make it as right column.
Where?
Writer dot
Okay, writer dot
right column.
right column. Okay. I'll be reading one data. Okay. Let me read 3, comma. Let me check some days. Okay, file names. Comma A B C D. Okay, let me execute this here. See why I'm getting an error in the console screen. I'm getting the error here. You can see permission denied because I have opened the file here. The data file, whenever you perform any operation onto the file should be closed. Okay. See now if I run, see it gave me the content called right column is attribute is not present in the CSV writer function. Okay, simple basics or simple idea you should see. See here, what modification I have done is I have added the delimiter function. What this delimiter will do? Acts like what?
Separator.
Yeah, separator. What happens now? I have not given the spaces. Suppose if I remove this, now there is no attribute called right column. Okay, just you are having right row. So you could have seen that in the first file I had only the 3 content. Now when I save this file, execute. See, now the file is being executed properly without any errors. Go to file. You can see the output screen, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
See here now what happened. The first row 0, 0, 0 of the first data SN1, 2, 3 movie separated with in particular column. The last categories, what type of role they played. Got it? Hello? Listen guys, the one thing what I would like to say is I'm not going to explain you the basics of Python and all from next class. Okay? I will directly going with the lab sessions. You should be knowing what are the basic file of Python commands, executions and all. Okay. So this is the how you are going to generate your own data. Suppose if you are having, what I would like to say is, so today's assignment will be to who are present here. Okay. Today Shashwata and Vishnu. Okay. Vishnu has to collect all the boys' data like their name, okay, their USN and their native place. So these are the main attributes, and he has to read all the data. He has to generate or create the data for your particular batch. All the boys' data will be generated by Vishnu, and the data of the girls like name, USN and their native place will be collected by Shashwata, and they have to create a Python file. Using Python, they have to create this type of file. Okay, creating data set. Okay. If you have any doubts till this, you can ask me now. So and next, the last basic is, see here, this is through reading the data from write method through the CSV writer function file. But this, what happens, this takes a lot of time to read the data. Like if you're having 100 students, we need to write row for next name, name, and all attribute names. But you can specify directly in the data frame as it's like this. So see here, I'm reading the data frame. Here what you used to do, you used to write CSV writer. Whereas here, you'll be writing pd.data frames. Okay, using the method data frame, you can directly write the name. Here I have taken only two attributes like name and age. Similarly, you can take the native place of the file name. So, and I'll be writing this data into the person.csv. I'm directly reading this data and I'm converting these data sets to CSV as the file name as person.csv. Okay, suppose here you can see this data here, person.csv. See here. Suppose if I want to add one more data, the last column, go to clock this, use the concept of list, single quote, then use both single quote as well as double quote, but both opening and closing should be the same. Okay, comma, let me give 31, save, execute. See, now I'm getting like permission denied because the path is not yet, or the new line method function is not yet called. So go to file, close this. See, now when I execute, always remember you have to close the file and then only you have to perform the operations on the file. Okay. See, now I have got this data here. Okay. These are some of the basics that you should know in the basics of reading the file and printing. Okay. If you have any doubts till now, you can ask me now.
Sir, when should we submit? I mean, like you have given work
No.
now for next week or tomorrow?
Next week.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What I suggest you is first try to learn the basics of Python properly. Okay. Try to have a particular class from your friends, like make a group of four members or your project teams. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Try to create some sessions like inside yourself. Okay. Give some topics to some of the people. Tell them to brush some knowledge on the particular topics.
Yeah,
Or
okay, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to teach you once again the basics of Python and all from the next class onwards. Syntax and all, making syntax errors and without using tab spaces and all. You should be knowing those basic things. Okay. And now, apart from this programming part, suppose this is your, you know how to debug the command, right? In the source menu, you'll be having run static code analysis. When you click on that, in the right hand side, you'll be getting the static code analysis. In the right hand side, you'll be having this output option. When you click on that, you'll be getting the errors. What are the errors that you had in this? Or you can click on analyze. You'll be getting the path if there are any errors. Okay. So that's about the source menu, and you know about how to run the, see here, you can use the line by line execution also. Go to run. I have selected first line. Okay. Run selected line. See in the right hand console screen, you can read the line by line execution. Also you can see. Next, once again go to run second line, but you have to click on the particular input in line. Okay. So it states creating a data frame. So it has read the data frame. For why I'm not getting the output? Because I have opened the file here. Okay. You got the concepts, right? So this is how you need to generate the data. Okay. What I suggest is it should be the sessions, the type of class should be offline. Until then, you people won't learn. Try to work on the IDE and also learn some brush up the knowledge on the Python concepts. Okay. Next, that is the run function. Next, we have the debug feature, like debugging step by step, step into step, return, continue, stop, and all. So next, we have console screen. Suppose if you want to run particular function in a particular console screen, you can open new console. See here, you got one more console. Okay. And this is your, the next menu is project menu. If you are doing projects, at that time you'll be using. If you click on Project Explorer, you'll be getting the Project Explorer menu over here. Okay. And next, this is the most important part now. So some people will want to have the background in the dark mode. What I should do? Go to Tools, go to Preferences. Okay. Click on General. Or so in the before that coloring background, in the general settings, you can see is the font size. Font size is in 10. You can increase the font size and you can increase the text font size. Okay. And these are some of the settings you can see over here. Try to learn these things. Okay. Next, you'll be having keyboard shortcuts you can create, or you can modify your own shortcut keys for the execution command here. Next, we have syntax coloring. In the scheme, I have taken basic general one as spider. If I click on spider dark, click on apply, click on OK, you can see the screen as like this. Automatically, the screen will be converted into dark mode. Okay, and you can see here that the font of the text are been increased. Okay. So this is your next rich text output screen. Got it? Next, in the preference part, after syntax, in this you'll be having around 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 types of different methods for background color. Okay, you can choose any one. Next, we have the Python interpreter. In this interpreter, I have taken directly as the default one. So install Python, and automatically the Python interpreter will be taken as default. If you are having a particular path, you can use the use button here. use this concept to read a particular path. Then we have run. So in the run part, we'll be having different commands executing the current console or in a particular dedicated console. Okay, or you can run the output in a particular terminal, ideally terminal also. Okay. Then in the current working directory, it shows where you are going to store the data and all. And the editor, suppose what are the number of spaces you want, or highlight a particular data in a particular time interval, show the line numbers in the left hand side. Suppose if you want to see blank spaces, you can see the blank spaces now. See here. So the blank spaces will be used as dot like this. Okay, the dot will be present in the middle of the text content. Here in this dots method is method, whereas this dot is space. Okay, and then vertical and all analysis, how you are going to analysis. And in the advanced settings, you are having how to save the files and all. Before running any script, if you want to save automatically, you can use these functions. Okay, so you can see here we automatically the IDE has given 4 spaces for indentation for functions and all. Automatically it takes. Okay. Next we have console screen. So you can see the history log of the entries. How many people you have executed here, the recent one. And this example, this we have studied in the first menu itself. Profile, where exactly the plugins have been installed. And this is about static code analysis. In the static code analysis, the maximum number of results that can be seen is 50. We can increase this value also. Okay. And this the last one is your view menu. In the tool menu, that's it. In the Python manager, you can use the other default things. And in the view menu, you usually click on lock pane. Okay. And you can choose the window layout. Suppose if you want to have an image processing layout, at that time you can go for MATLAB layout also. If you want to use data analytics using R language, you can use RStudio layout. And you can split up the view menu through horizontal split or vertical split also. Okay. And the default one is your spider default layout. Okay. And these are some, you can see in the help documentation, you have all the other functionalities. You can see here. This Qt documentation will be used for electronics and electrical people for signal processing and all. And this is IPython, ideally Python documentation. Okay. Apart from this, if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. From the next week onwards, we will be directly jumping onto the first lab program. Okay. So that's about the basics of ML lab program for today's class. Okay.